With the first presidential primary just weeks away, the list of Democratic candidates remains one of the most crowded in decades. Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg have dominated the headlines, polling at or higher than 10%. Here are some of the lower-tier candidates who are still in the race. Michael Bennet Sen. Michael Bennet D. is polling at 10th place, according to Politico. He threw his hat in the race in May 2019 and has since struggled to maintain the momentum of his rivals, trailing at 1% in the polls by some estimates. Democratic presidential candidate Senator Michael Bennet D. speaks at the Brown AP, The New York Times, in a Sunday editorial that endorsed Sen's Amy Klobuchar and Elizabeth Warren, gave Bennet only a passing mention. John Delaney, unbeknownst to many, was the first to declare his candidacy for president back in July 2017, just 6 months into President Trump's tenure in the White House. An Access report in July estimated that Delaney had spent nearly $19 million on his White House bid since declaring his candidacy more than 2 years ago. Democratic presidential candidate John Delaney, a former congressman from Maryland, during an American Federation of State, County and Municipal Employees Public Service Forum in Las Vegas, Saturday, August 3, 2019. Steve Marcus, Las Vegas Sun via AP. Delaney grew up in a working-class family and went on to start 2 companies, becoming the youngest CEO in the history of the New York Stock Exchange. He has a net worth of more than $200 million and is mostly self-financing his campaign. Deval Patrick, a latecomer into the 2020 race, former Massachusetts Gov. Deval Patrick announced his candidacy in November 2019. Patrick has shrugged off concerns of his late arrival, arguing that other candidates have been raising money for a long time without gaining in popularity. Former Massachusetts governor and 2020 Democratic presidential candidate Deval Patrick, right, takes a question at the Council on Foreign Relations. A former official in the Clinton administration, Patrick has focused his campaign on early voting states, saying, "As a practical matter, we're going to try to spend a lot of time here in New Hampshire, and in South Carolina, but we will be active in Iowa and Nevada, as well." Biden campaign touts Ukrainian anti-corruption activist WHO previously called Hunter Biden's actions very bad after Julian Castro and Sen. Cory Booker, DNJ, withdrew from the race. Patrick remains the only candidate of color vying for the presidency. Before the 7th Democratic debate in Des Moines, Iowa, last week, he lamented that America will not see herself in full. Click here to get the Fox News app. Tulsi Gabbard, Democratic presidential candidate Rep. Tulsi Gabbard, D. waved to the crowd at the She the People Presidential Forum at Texas Southern University on April 24, 2019 in Houston, Texas. Photo by Sergio Flores, Getty Images. Rep. Tulsi Gabbard, D. Hawaii, a combat veteran who served in Iraq as a member of the Hawaii Army National Guard, is polling stronger in New Hampshire than other states and in national polls, but is still trailing behind several candidates. A Real Clear Politics poll averages Gabbard at 3.5% in the polls out of New Hampshire. Let's block ads. Why?